Hi guys, welcome back to the Resonator. So I'm going to make a couple of pendants, and this is just a little experiment because I'm going to try and do some kind of beachy theme. Now I don't have any sand and I like a little bit of glitter anyway, so I'm going to use, after I've tipped it everywhere, I'm going to use some of this little glass chips, crushed glass, as the sand. At least it's not as bad as glitter. And I'm going to do this with UV resin. Now the resin that I'm using is J. Diction UV resin. I've never used this one before. The brand I've been using has been a Temu brand, so I'm quietly optimistic that this is going to be better because, let's face it, it's J. Diction. So I'm just going to add some of this to my glass and give it a bit of a mix. Now I'm hoping that I've got enough for both of these two, but we'll see after I've done one. I think I might need a tiny bit more resin in there. That's better. Okay, so as always, I've already sprayed my mould with silicone release spray. Just want to make sure that there's no bits in it that I don't want. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to give that a little mix. Need to keep it away from the UV light. And then I'm going to mix a little bit of resin with 1 drop of this sky blue alcohol ink. Now the light still needs to be able to go through the resin for it to be able to cure, so we need to be careful how much we actually add into this. So 1 drop I think is plenty. Give it a really good mix because I don't really want it streaky. I think I might make a little bit more of that up because it's these moulds are a little bit bigger than I'm used to. There we go. Now I've introduced a lot of bubbles into this, but I don't mind because this is a beachy theme, so I don't think bubbles really matter. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same again, but this time with green. This green is teal. I need to be careful with that one because I think it's actually leaking. I'm not sure what's going on with it. Okay, may need to make a little bit more of that up, I'm not sure. And last but not least, we're going to do a little bit of white. I don't need as much for this because I only really use it for sort of, wrong lid, for the suggestion of waves. Oh dear, I'm such an idiot. Okay, but again, I don't want this opaque. Do you know, this one earlier on, when I was using it, the end had closed up as well. I'm not quite sure what it is about this one. I had to re-pierce it. So the ink just keeps blocking up the end. Annoying. Oh, I know I've put too much in, but we'll go with it. We can always add more resin to water it down a little bit. We might get away with that. Okay. So I'm going to move these right out of the way so I don't knock them over. Let's get started. So first of all, let's add a little bit more resin to that just to be safe. I don't want to have to scrunch it down, I want it to flow a little bit. That's better. Okay. Let's add it into the moulds. Make sure that I've got it in the corners. Try not to spill it everywhere like I've already done. I'm going to be brave and try and do both at the same time. Either that's brave or very stupid, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I don't want it too uniform because it is meant to be a beach after all. Okay, so next I'm going to add the blue, but I don't want to go too quickly, so I'm just going to add it around the edge of my beachy area because I want it to blend a little bit as well. Okay, I'm now going to add the green before the blue flows too far up. Might actually pour that a little bit just to get it in a bit quicker. I'm not sure whether you can see where the blue goes into the green, but I'm going to put a tiny bit more of this blue. There we go. Okay. Need to find the right tool. Probably should have got a bit more prepared before I started. Ah, there it is. So I'm going to just use my modelling tool. I've got hair in that. That's not good. Just to draw little lines. In the coloured resin. To suggest waves. Okay. So let's just try scuffing this one up a little bit to see what the white does. I don't want to mix it in too much. I also want to catch it before it sinks. It's just occurred to me, excuse my arm in the shop, that I've actually got some little shells and I'm wondering if they're small enough to actually fit in there. Let's have a look, because that would actually be really cool. Ooh, we might actually get away with that. Let's find a little one of these. Some little starfish would be really cool, but I don't have any of those. I don't want them to be too fat, because I don't want them sticking out too much. Okay, let's try that. Let's try not to knock everything over. Right, so we need to cure this. So I'm going to give it 2 minutes. There we go. So while we're waiting for these to cure, I just thought I'd give a shout out to everyone who's subscribed to my channel in the last couple of days. I really appreciate it. You've all been fantastic, so thank you. There we go, that's our 2 minutes. And we're hard. So I'm now just going to give it a little go at the back. I think that's cute. Okay, so the next thing is to top them both up. Do you know what I might do actually, is to try and use the rest of these, see if I've got enough to go in this one, this long thin one. Not in any particular order, I just don't want to waste the resin. So I'm just going to dollop it in there and see what happens. Dollop being a technical term. I don't think I'm going to fit a shell in there, to be fair. So let's turn that round. Okay, so next thing is to give these a coat of clear. I'm going to do it slowly, because I don't want to introduce more bubbles. There are already bubbles in it because I wasn't so worried about the colours, but I'd like this layer to not have bubbles if I can help it. The shells look really nice once the resin's gone over them. In we go again with the lamp. When you start introducing other things into resin as well, you start introducing air, which then forms bubbles. So I wouldn't be surprised if some air's come out of those shells. I'm kind of wishing that the one on the right had some bubbles in it now. There we go. I'm definitely going to need to cure the other side of those. So let's turn it over. Just going to let these cool down a little bit before I take them out. In fact, I'll take this one out. That's quite pretty actually. It's different, even though it hasn't got any shells in it. Now these look a bit weird, almost like there's a big bubble in them. Yeah, there kind of is, but it still works because it looks like it's underwater. I don't know whether I want to dome them or not. I'm not a big fan of, don't get me wrong, I like chunky pendants, but I'm not a fan of the sharp edges. I really like them. I'm going to stand up and bring them a bit closer to the camera for you. So I don't know if you can see, but there's like a funny effect here, almost like there's air in it, or if the resin hasn't cured properly, but it's not soft or anything. So, but it's really cool. It works. The shells look awesome. And the back actually doesn't look too bad either. So that's that one. And the same things happened here. But hey, I'm not going to complain because I still think this one's a success. Yeah. Okay then. So, oh, there we go. Same old disaster area. So there we go. Last little look there. I'll take some photographs as well. Pop them on the end of the video. So again, thanks guys for subscribing. Hit that like button for me if you wouldn't mind. Give me a thumbs up, and by all means, if you feel like you would like to, click on the link to buy me a coffee. There you go. Underwater seascape. Just needs a fish. There we go. Take care guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.